Yo, Kachi, you have to school us about the NFL one of these days.
Well, not a problem. Always a pleasure. Of course, we'll talk about the playoff when it's time. Once it's January, we'll begin to look at the playoff picture. But one of the games that the whole world will probably, excuse me, we'll probably talk about today is the fact that the old man Tom Brady is playing against my team, the San Francisco 49ers, which used to be the team Tom Brady supported as a kid growing up.
Oh, wow.
And he's playing against a 7th round draft pick, the man called Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy. And Brady has a record of having never lost playing against a rookie in their first start in the NFL. So, but right now, Brady is losing 17-0, but we'll see how the game turns out.
All right. Perfect. Thank you very much. We'll move straight to football or soccer, whatever it is that you guys like to call it, whatever part of the world you are. But I'm pretty sure most of our audience knows the word football, not soccer. So we'll be jumping straight to the Messi situation. Mm-hmm. I know people like to shield Messi, protect Messi. I know accusation fingers have been drawn to the fact that Argentina have a penalty kick like almost every game. Which so to some people that they start getting dubious. I don't see it that way. I think they're legitimate anyways. But the way some people see it, and Messi gives us this vibe of I'm humble, right? And pre-game before I can't see you for a strange reason. Let me know if I see with me. For some strange reason before the game, LVG Luis Van Gaal came out to say, "Yo, look at this, right? Messi without the ball is like a shot 1 for Argentina because he would not be able to press, he would not be able to mark, and he would not be able to defend effectively," which is the truth. Messi's job on the field is not to mark. His job is not on the field is not to press. His job on the field is not even to defend. That is the truth. And for some strange reason, Messi was so upset about that. I know drafts can be very hard to please.
Yeah, it's called the Napoleon syndrome. We totally get it.
Yeah, and after the game, he went to LVG and did you talk too much,
blah blah blah. Too much.
Yeah. And he did the same thing to Agadavis up until Angel Di Maria came around to represent handwriting. Like, yo, let's leave this place and now. And another thing from the game was what Paredes did. Paredes played the ball or shot, as a matter of fact, towards the bench of Holland, and it was of the Dutch, and it was not recorded. You know, it looks questionable to me, and the fact that the disrespect to LVG is not acceptable in my own books.
Yeah.
In my own book, it's not acceptable to me.
Absolutely. How
do you feel about this wave of events and the fact that the referee totally lost control of the game?
Yeah. It was a very, very poor performance, if I can say that, by the referee. And this is what I kept thinking about, that if this was done by a certain Cristiano Ronaldo, what would be the reaction of the media towards that? I remember a certain Champions League game where Diego Simeone made that gesture after they won Juventus at the Stadio Metropolitan Stadium.
One other.
And then and Ronaldo did the same at the Turin Stadium, and I know the amount of backlash he received. I saw that action. I saw the many action of a certain Lionel Messi, the gentle, non-shouting superstar football player who I've said it countless times, I believe is better than Ronaldo, but I am just a Ronaldo fan. I'm not disputing who is better. I'm just telling you whose fan I am of. However,
100%.
Coming back, those actions were totally reprehensible. I thought they were unbefitting of the face of the game. I thought the referee lost full control. Unfortunately, on the pitch itself, the Argentine won it. Because I keep asking myself, is it that Messi is a sore loser, or Messi is just someone who has always had the world at his feet, and when he faces any form of adversity, we get to see who he really is. Unfortunately, I don't think he's the saint the whole world has painted him out to be. But you don't need to be a saint to be the best footballer in the world. By and large, the tactic, I mean, it's pure tactics. All is fair in love and warfare. That is the general saying. You psych your players, you psych your team, you psych the opponents any way you can. He did not diss Messi as a person. All he said is Messi defensively is not involved in that function, which you don't need to be involved in, because you are the single best player in a team of 34. You are the single best player. In a team of 60, you are the single best player. So why do you need to defend? So how that became something he took personal, I don't know. What I do know is that reaction, that behavior was uncalled for. I don't think he should be penalized, because it makes no difference to the result of the game. But it wasn't only Messi that showed unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah, exactly.
Otamendi, once the final Lautaro Martinez scored that goal, he turned and was taunting a team that just lost the quarterfinal of a game.
That's so unsportsmanly.
It's so many. It lets you know. I somebody said something that if it happens with one player, it probably it's just that player. If it happens with two players, you begin to sense a pattern. But when it becomes three players acting that way, then you will know that is what the coach or whoever those players are listening to also believe in. So those three actions by Messi, by Paredes, by Otamendi is a reflection of who Scaloni, or whatever his name is as a coach. The fact that he believes in only the results and not in the spirit of the sport. It's sad, but that doesn't take away from the fact that the Argentines are in the semi-final of the World Cup right now.
Yeah, and congratulations to them as well. I think they truly deserve it. Because they had a very bad start to the championship, and they grew gradually into the championship. Understands what their first 11 should look like, depending on the kind of opposition they are facing, and they pretty much they've done well for themselves. We're not going to take that away from them on Newsinstanta, but they truly need to be said. These are things that if Ronaldo did a quarter of these things, it's going to be a news. It's going to be a negative news. And you see it on ESPN, BBC,
everywhere. It will be everywhere.
Every day. Maybe for the next 2
weeks, even up until 2 weeks after the World Cup, it will be everywhere.
It will be everywhere. And of course, a sad moment for Cristiano Ronaldo losing the game yesterday against Morocco. Good one for the Arabian world and Africans all across the globe. First time Africa is going to be in the semi-finals of the World Cup. First time we have an Arabian-dominated country at the semi-finals of the World Cup as well. Morocco did it before they broke the record again, showing us who the real boss are. But for Ronaldo, see that side of Ronaldo crying in the tunnel breaks the heart of many sports fans. And it really broke my heart. I wouldn't lie. This is a kid that I don't like when he was at United. But when he moved to, I can't even call him a kid anyways. It's about my age. This is a man that I don't like when he was at United, when he was still a kid. And when he moved to Real Madrid, I just had to
realize you were in love with him.
I just realized that I realized the greatness in him. And he has broken on the record that is possible in this world. He's the highest goal scorer in the history of football. For instance, he's Mr. Champions League. He's done it, seen it all, done it all. Whether in the Italian league, the Spanish league, the English Premier League, and by extension, he did a little that he could in the Portuguese league as well. So this guy needs to be given his flower. His record is cemented in this show of football, with or without the World Cup. No doubt about it. He's only someone that is illucid that will say Ronaldo has not earned his flowers. He has. We can't dispute it. But every good thing must eventually come to an end. How do you feel about that particular image, Kachi?
I just told the whole world that whose fan I am of between the two people. Obviously, I felt bad, but let's not forget that during our Twitter Space review, I already expected that Ronaldo would not be starting that game simply because I thought the Portuguese needed to have pace and youth on the pitch to enable them become multi-dimensional as against being one-dimensional, which Ronaldo typically lets them become. Credit to him for showing his emotion, for being tuned in. You know, he wasn't sulking on the bench, singing the national anthem with gusto. Even when Al Nassr scored that goal, his reaction showed he was in the game. He didn't zone out of that game. He was locked in. And when he came in, he had his chances. We're not going to say he did not have his chances. He had his chances. Decided to shoot to the near post as against shooting across his body. Maybe that would have caused a difference. But the game was not lost by Ronaldo. The game 100%. Was actually won by Morocco, not necessarily lost by Portugal as well. They had their chances. Ronaldo were playing that ball for Joao Felix. Bono made an outlandish save. The other shot by Bruno Fernandes. Bono also making an outlandish save. You know, so let's give credit to Morocco for doing that. But for that image itself, Ronaldo obviously cried because he knows this was his last realistic chance to be part of a team that could compete for the World Cup. Not for Portugal, because I believe the next generation of this Portuguese star, which is actually this generation, but I say next because post-Ronaldo generation of this, I believe they are in a very good space mentally to even win the Euros before even winning the World Cup. But yes, it was sad to see. This was someone who gave it all. But Father Time never lies. If we believe Father Time has caught up with LeBron James, how much more someone who plays close, who has consistently played close to 65 to 74 games every year for the last 15 years. But it's just what it is. It's not a sad end to a career. It's just
definitely not.
It's just sad, pretty much, but not a sad end to his career.
Yeah, of course. And just put it out there, because before Cristiano Ronaldo, the Portuguese national team never won any kind of trophy. And after Ronaldo,
they have two national trophies.
They have two national trophies to their name, which just gives you or shows you the testament of who Cristiano Ronaldo is and how good Ronaldo is. Maybe some people will watch this in the next 20 or 30 years. You never can tell. I'm like, okay, that's my grandfather talking about a certain Cristiano Ronaldo. He is one of the greatest that ever kicked of football. Snags, or should I say, questions might be asked about his sportsmanly behavior sometimes. Questions might be asked about his attitude. But Ronaldo is a pure professional, and he's a guy that wants to play every game. Start right from the start of his career. As a 17 or 18-year-old boy, they asked Ronaldo who is the best player. They asked Ronaldo, Anderson, and Ferdinand. Ferdinand said Maradona, of course. Anderson was always going to say Pelé. Ronaldo said he is the greatest player of all time. And I think he was just 18 or 19 years old at that time. That just goes to show you the Mamba mentality in Ronaldo. If there's a Mamba in football, it is definitely nobody than Cristiano Ronaldo.
Without a doubt.
All right. Perfect. I don't want to go to the nitty-gritty of Santos and what he did wrong on the night, unless you want to dive into that.
I don't think we need to go into it. I don't think Santos did anything wrong in setting out the players he sent out. I really think it's probably the approach and how we thought they could attack That's it. I don't think anything Santos did or would have done on that day would have mattered. Simply because they were playing against a Moroccan team who is not known for scoring a lot, but also not known for conceding. They've only conceded one goal, and this is after playing against 3 top 10 nations, footballing nations in the world. They did not concede any goal. In fact, I want to give big credit to Canada because I don't know if it was you or I read it somewhere, that to let you know how crazy the group, Canada's group was. 2 teams out of that group are now in the semi-finals of the World Cup. 2 teams from the group Canada played in Morocco and in Croatia, are in the semi-finals of the World Cup. And they played against the Croatian team, top 10. They played against the Belgian team, number 2 ranked in the world. Played against the Spanish. Did they play Spain? They played against the Spanish team, top 5. Played against Portugal, top 10, and they did not concede a single goal against this team. So there's really nothing you want to say about how Santos set up his team. Instead, let us give the flowers to Morocco and a coach who only took over and has only coached this team for 8 games, 5 of these games being at the World Cup, yet is getting them to play one of the best set of football I've seen a team play defensively. I'm impressed. I really, yes, you wish it's your own national team, but boy, am I so proud that finally an African national anthem will be played 2 days. The last 2, they will play. They are guaranteed to play 7 full games at this World Cup. Either they play semi-final and final, or they play semi-final and 3rd place match. They are guaranteed to be there up until the last day of the tournament. No African team can say that. So let's not say it's something the Portuguese did wrong. But let's give credit to Morocco.
Yeah, if I was a Portuguese player, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be beating up Diego Costa after the game for that gift to Morocco. Staying on Morocco, realistically, do you think the Moroccans can win this World Cup? I feel they can.
Yes.
Because and the reason why I say they can win the World Cup is because the Moroccans are not an exceptional team, but they don't concede goals. And you can only win a football match by scoring.
Yeah.
And if you cannot score against them, they take you to penalties. They have one
of the best goalkeepers in Spain right now.
Yeah, and they have a very crazy goalkeeper that knows how to keep out penalties. I think they can go all the way in this tournament.
I think so.
I don't know if you think so.
I totally echo your sentiments. I think so. Yes, they have a big test in front of them in the shape of France. But from what they've done in the last 5 games, they should not be scared. They played teams that dominate France, and they held their own against those teams. So I expect Morocco to go in there with full confidence. I actually think, and ladies and gentlemen, don't say this is a far-fetched dream, but I think the French national team's dream would end in that semi-final match. Morocco will get a result. Even if they don't, the tournament has been a success. But I think Morocco wins this.
I think depending
on who they play. If they meet a Croatia again, Morocco will win the World Cup. If they meet an Argentina, of course I will be rooting for Morocco, but I don't know if they will win it.
That's a big one, though. Yeah. A big one for Africa. A big for the.
Oh my word! I probably will call in sick if on the Monday. It ends on the 18th. Okay, I'm already off. I'm already off on Friday on the 19th because I will be traveling. But yes, if they win it, come on. I'm not going to get drunk. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not a getting drunk man. I'm only saying if they win it, oh my word, it's going to be one.
It's a game changer. It's a game changer.
It's going to be one heck of a.
And the funniest thing, I know we don't like to go political on the show. I think the biggest winner so far at this World Cup in a non-sporting fashion is the Palestinians. I think a whole lot of attention has been brought to them with the help of the Tunisians, the Moroccans, now even some English and Americans understand whatever it is that is happening in the Middle East. Going next to Southgate. Southgate is Olale's best friend. On this space, we all agree what he was supposed to do.
Mhm.
But of course, Southgate, I don't know, for some strange reason, he always prefer to be conservative. The only reason why I feel for didn't even play in this tournament is because of the media outburst from the British guys like Gary Neville, Rio Ferdinand, and the rest. And you took the best attacking midfielder in the whole of England to the World Cup, and you did not deem it fit to use him at least once. And I'm talking about James Maddison. And you have a Jack Grealish, you have Phil Foden, you have Bukayo Saka, you have Rashford, you have Harry Kane, you have Callum Wilson. This is a plethora of very wonderful players, stars. Thank you very much for that word. Plethora of stars that would defeat any team. I am playing against a French national team that have lost probably their hearts in N'Golo Kante and their liver in Paul Pogba. And this is, and you're supposed to think about what can I do better than this team, as against trying to say focusing on the strength of the other team. And I think that's what it did. Playing Endo would probably give you a chance on a normal day. Kyle Walker and Kylian Mbappe. I know Kylian Mbappe is one of the best players in the world right now, but Kyle Walker can hold his own against Mbappe without the help of anybody.
Yeah.
Endo will always give you a short one attacking wise. Yeah, it will give you a short one attacking wise. It might give you something defensively.
Yeah,
but I'm taking something away.
He will give you heart on the defense.
Exactly, and I'm thinking about it, and like I said on our space, I will have played the back four with what's his name? Declan Rice playing in front of the back four.
Of the back four.
I'll play in two attacking midfielders and play those guys, unleash those guys right in front of them. At the very least, play a Phil Foden in the middle as an attacking player. Phil Foden can play that, but he's a player that doesn't even want to think. And I think one of the problem is you play according to the setup of the team you are playing against. You don't just stick to, okay, I'm playing 4-4-2. Whether I'm playing against United, I'm playing against Palmeiras, I'm going to play 4-4-2. What if Palmeiras is going to play with 6 defenders? Are you still going to play with 4-4-2 with 2 pivot midfielders in the middle of the park? Or you are going to tweak things? And that's the problem. And that's what I saw with Southgate. I strongly feel this English national team, it's not the first time we're seeing this anyways, but in the past we've seen problems. Maybe Lampard and Gerrard are not fitting or complementing each other in the middle of the park, or you're playing Jimmy Carragher in the middle of the park or something like that. But this one, these players are in place, in the right place, ready to do those things that you need for them, for you. But he did not take his chances. Do you think it's a mischance for Gareth Southgate? Do you think his tactical ineptitude is questionable? Like, for me, I don't want to talk too much, actually. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a missed opportunity for Gareth Southgate and the English national team. And it's down to, obviously, the tactical deficiencies Gareth has shown us. But for as long as the British national team want to stick to having a British coach, then they will have these tactical deficiencies. We have said it times without number that no British manager has won the league. It is for a reason. It is because they are
British manager, no English.
No English manager. Yes, we know Sir Alex Ferguson has won. No English manager, which is obviously who we are talking about. We're talking about the English here.
Yeah.
It is down to the fact that they have that deficiency tactically, and they can't really sometimes see beyond their nose. We've always castigated Gareth Southgate for setting up his team not to lose, rather than set up his team to dominate and win again. With the amount of players and talent he has in his team, yes, it showed in the possession stats. They dominated possession on the game, but they could have actually tightened their hold on that game against France. It looked like the French team, for once, were bereft of ideas. What got them through was the experience and not the tactical brilliance of Didier Deschamps. So it was a game between two tactically deficient coaches that just had plethora. They just had the depth of individual talent playing on the pitch. But all that being said, it wasn't as if they were run out of the park. With all this, we're saying, if the young man has decided not to kick his penalty to the space station, the space station in Mars, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation now. They would have masked the tactical ineptitude of Gareth Southgate. All that being said, who else can you call as a coach right now that is English to come and take charge of that team? That is one thing Gareth is enjoying right now. The fact that he will continue to remain. The players seem to want to play for him because let's not forget he was the under-21 coach and coached most of these boys up until they got to the national team. So they have good history. They want to play for him. He now has to say, hey, I'm lacking in some areas, and go to the likes of Pep. Just have a sit down, 1 month, crash course. Let me be the fly on the wall. Share your tips with me. How have you used Foden? How James Madsen, Brendan Rodgers, how have you used it to make him this consistent? He has to be willing to learn and not just say, because I have been appointed the national team coach, I have gotten to the pinnacle of my career. The day we stop learning is the day we die. And I think that's really what is hurting this current national team. They entertained us. They should not feel disappointed or disgraced. Yes, they didn't lose to... It wasn't scandalous. It wasn't a scandalous win. Albeit, they have this excuse of, why do we have an Argentine coach? No. I think it's not them that have that excuse. That was the Portuguese saying they had an Argentine referee their game. But I thought it was them. So, bottom line, it was not an embarrassing exit. However, they are leaving a lot of positive results and a potential title win on the plate, simply because their coach has refused to take the bull by the horn.
Oh wow! That's the right word. Taking the bull by the horn. Bringing Jack Grealish on 2 minutes.
89th minute or 88th minute was totally embarrassing. I thought it was embarrassing. They should come. Milan is already making inquiries about Grealish coming to San Siro. Let him come and enjoy football with Rafael Leao.
It's really embarrassing if you ask me. And of course, there's this question that is going around now, that what happened to Brazil? I beloved Brazil. I thought we were going to win the World Cup as a semi-Brazilian. Don't forget there are so many Yoruba in Brazil. Jokes apart, but we thought there could be a couple of things that could have been done differently by Tite, especially bringing on Fred. After the goal, bringing on Fred, and there
was nothing. Sorry, I'm cutting you short. There was nothing Neymar should have been doing on the pitch after the goal. In extra time, you get a goal. Forget fancy Brazilian football. It's 5 minutes to the end of the game. The goal was scored at the 105th minute or 109th minute. There's nothing he should be doing. There's nothing Neymar should be doing. You should be shoring up your defense. You should be shoring it up, But hindsight is 2020, like they said. Sometimes some people stay true to their passions, true to the only way they know how to play football. It's almost like telling Pep Guardiola to defend the lead. We saw them, even though on aggregate they were leading Real Madrid, they were still going for the win. Grealish missing those 2 gilt chances. And Ancelotti will not play like that if it's an Italian team. And Allegri will not do that. That is the time where you throw tactics away and you stick to
what is required of the game.
Exactly. And become very pragmatic and manage the game. So that really was what they got wrong because it wasn't a game. It was a game that Croatia came to nullify free-flowing football. It wasn't as if Brazil had 10 minutes of flowing
samba game. No,
it wasn't there. They showed grit in staying in that physical fight with with Croatia because it was a physical battle. But as soon as they got that goal in the second half of an extra time, all tactics should have gone through the line. We keep blaming Clemens Westerhoff for sticking to playing tiki-taka or Nigerian style of football against Italy in the second round in Italia 94. We should ascribe Tite with the same blame. That point in time is not when you play to formation. The formation becomes all 11 players behind the ball. You have your goal, play pragmatic.
Soak the pressure.
Yes. Play pragmatically and just get your win and live to fight another day. But hindsight, like I said, is 2020.
It's 2020.
Big credit to Croatia. Until you kill them, cut off their neck, bury them, and the doctors say they are dead, Croatia is not dead. And that is why I am tipping them to surprise Argentina come Wednesday.
All right, perfect. We'll look forward to that. Wednesday, it's going to be a date where we'll be looking whether the Croats can have actually do anything against the Argentine. But Kachi, we know it's crazy the world we live in terms of racism. I know people have asked me multiple times, have I experienced racism in Canada? I said no. I've never experienced any form of racism, maybe systematic racism, but I can't even see it. So I can't even call it racism, something I don't know, right? But we've seen these over and over again in the United Kingdom.
British media.
Harry Kane was the one that ballooned the ball over the bar. And it is Rashford that did an excellent job
making the headline.
That did an excellent job with the free kick. The free kick was very, very, very nice. If it has gone a little bit of 2 meters, 1 meter below, that would have been a fantastic goal. But it's Rashford that is being clamored for being you watching.
Who lost the game to them?
Yeah, who lost the game to them? And they're saying they should go back to Africa, go feed the hungry kids, and no. This is unfair if you ask me. And what steps should be taken towards this? It's becoming unbecoming, especially with the English.
I'm tired of saying this over and over again. They keep saying, and this is why football will never come home. I'm serious. I don't believe in karma, but I believe that there is a God, and I believe that this God that we talk about is a just God. You cannot keep doing this to people who are supposedly the best talent you have and expect that the universe will not do something. I don't know what else can be done, to be very honest with you. We've said this times without number. It's becoming a sad case. Right now, I'm actually short for words. I totally don't know. It was embarrassing when I saw the headline. It was embarrassing when I saw that the major newspapers ran with that headline in spite of what has happened. We thought it was an outlier at the last Euros. It has become the same thing now. What else do we want to do? These are the same people that will shout, Bulgaria should be suspended for racist chants. There were racist chants, monkey chants in Italy. Yet the supposed home of football is the one doing this. And not fans now. Not fans now, but the mainstream media doing this. So it's totally embarrassing, and I don't expect them to win anything.
Anytime soon. All right, perfect. Kashi, just before we go, it's Morocco. That's the way they pronounce it. Morocco.
Before you go on, did I tell you that I'm part Arab during this World Cup? That my name is Al-Kachi.
Al-Kachi, El-Farah,
El-Wadi. My name is Al-Kachi for the duration of this World Cup. Amazing thing. I'm so proud to be African, or at least to have African roots. It's been an amazing thing. So go on.
Yeah, so we got the Moroccan national team, the French, we have the Argentines, and we have the Croats. It's going to be the Croats against the Argentines, Morocco against France. Who do you think to be the two teams in the final of the World Cup?
Who do I think, or who do I want?
Yeah, who do you think? Tip, honestly. we are in a battle already. I lost all my battles yesterday.
No, forget my I don't think I even remember to put up predictions. So I'm way behind you, probably 5 or 7 points behind you. So I'm going to be very aggressive. I totally want Morocco to defeat France. I totally want. But who do I think will make the finals? I think it's going to be a repeat of last year's final. It's going to be France versus Croatia again. And France will be the first repeat champion since Brazil did it in 1964, I believe. No, 1962. 1962.
Yeah, so it's going to be 2 outbreaks for Croatia, like it happened to Holland in 74 and 78.
78, yes. I think
wow, that's going to be a bad one. That's going to be a bad one. So Argentina versus Morocco in the third
place match.
Yeah.
Because it will not be a match the Argentines want to play. Morocco will get the first African medal in the history of the World Cup. Morocco will beat Argentina for the bronze medal at this tournament. But guys, that is who I take. However, who will I be rooting for? It will be Morocco against France and Croatia against Argentina.
All right, perfect for me. For some strange reason, I can't bet against the Morocco national team. Honestly, I feel if they are stored in defense, they would.
They just don't score enough. Is the truth? The French will get a goal.
They don't want to score. Kachi, that's the point. They don't want to score. Against Portugal,
that's my problem.
If not because of the mistake of Diogo Costa, Morocco was not going to score. I'm telling you, they were not ready to score. All they want to do is play you draw.
But you can't look at England thinking the match was going to be won and lost versus Mbappe, and Chouameni came with a blinder. And then the slowest man on the pitch, Olivier Giroud, got a goal as well. That is really my concern. The French are not world beaters in the shape of beating you 7-1 like Brazil or Spain. But they will get goals when they need to get goals. Can Morocco outscore them? I don't think they can. If it becomes a two goal contest where Morocco needs to score twice, that is where I begin to worry. And that's why I think France will edge that
semi-finals. I think Morocco will hedge it against the French. It's going to be a draw over 120 minutes, and Morocco will win.
I'll be happy to be proven wrong.
And Argentina against Croatia because I'm supporting Argentina right now. My top 3 teams are Brazil, Portugal, and Argentina. The first 2 have gone on already, so I'm rooting for the Argentines right now. So I'm seeing a Morocco, Argentina. So it's just sharp construct of what you predicted. And that's it. Final word for our fans before we go tonight.
Thank you so much for being a part of us. Please stay tuned to our Twitter page. We look and analyze every single game at the end of each match day. You don't want to miss it. We have contributors from all across the world, and we give you raw emotional takes. But we thank you for all your support.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much, guys. If you like the show, you enjoy the show, please like, subscribe, and share our page. Have a wonderful sporting week, guys.